Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The state cites Stellantis for sending fumes from its Mac assembly plant into this neighborhood. We have the latest.
And the local forecaster is tracking rain on the way, but there's a small bit of good news when it comes to the weekend.
But we're going to begin with a major step forward in the push to get children vaccinated. Pfizer has now formally asked the FDA to consider its vaccine for younger kids. Today, Pfizer announced they have officially requested emergency use authorization for their COVID vaccine in children age 5 to 11.
It is a move that has been highly anticipated by pediatricians and many parents as COVID cases have risen in that age group. So let's bring in our medical expert, Dr. Frank McGeorge, to kind of walk us through what the FDA will need to see and the most likely timeline as the vaccine moves forward here, Doc.
Yeah, Kim and Devin. So the most important element that will be under scrutiny is safety. Now, of course, vaccines in general need to be safe, but the safety bar is raised even higher when we're talking about kids. And although the Pfizer data hasn't been made public yet, they would not have submitted it to the FDA if they didn't think it could easily clear that hurdle. Here's what the FDA is going to be looking at.
Pfizer tested the vaccine in 2,268 children aged 5 to 11 years old, giving 2 shots 21 days apart. Now, the shots for this age group are 1/3 of the dose given to those aged 12 and older. Prior research suggested this lower dose would be just as effective at generating a protective antibody response in younger children while potentially reducing the chance of any adverse events, especially the rare heart inflammatory conditions called myocarditis and pericarditis. Now, because there were only a couple thousand children in Pfizer's study, if the vaccine is authorized for younger children, close monitoring for rare adverse reactions will be essential as it's given to a larger population. By design, the study measured the levels of protective antibodies after vaccination. It remains to be seen how that correlates to protection against infection or severe illness, like MIS-C. While we expect it will, we can't know until it's given to a large population. Now, if the FDA issues an emergency use authorization for 5 to 11-year-olds, it would then be additionally reviewed by the CDC before being released for use. It would then be a decision left to parents.
I would anticipate that as parents and their children have questions of their pediatricians and other local health professionals, and they get those questions answered, that more and more parents and kids will want their kids to get vaccinated.
Now, the FDA's vaccine advisory panel is actually set to meet on October 26th. The FDA and Pfizer will release more detailed data on the trials to the public a couple days in advance of that meeting, and that's when we'll get our first chance to dig deeper into the safety and efficacy details for this age group.
Yeah, Dr. McGeorge, once the vaccine is authorized, how quickly do you think parents will be able to have their children vaccinated, and how many will do it right away?
Well, because the dosing on this particular vaccine is actually different, there are going to be some logistic issues, different vials or syringes, for example. Now, as far as immediate uptake, it will probably depend on some of the data. But honestly, for many parents, this really could not come soon enough. In fact, a recent Kaiser Family Foundation survey found 1/3 of parents plan to vaccinate immediately.
Yeah.
Back to you.
We'll see how it goes, and as you said, we'll continue to follow it. Thank you, Doc. Our other top story tonight, folks living around that new Jeep plant on Detroit's east side say there's a foul smell in the air.
Not just that, some say it's leaving a metallic taste in their mouth, even causing their throats to feel a burning sensation. Sean Lay spent the day talking with residents and Stellantis to get to the bottom of what's going on. Sean?
We asked Stellantis today what they plan on doing about the problem. They said they are working on it. Still, people who woke up in that neighborhood this morning say their throat hurts so badly that they called the plant themselves.
It's a burning in my throat.
Today?
It's like a chemical burn almost.
Victoria Thomas says she's hurting so much today she called her neighbor. That neighbor is the massive Stellantis Mac assembly plant that sits directly behind her house. She says fumes from the plant actually hurt her throat and her eyes.
It said if you smell something, call, the 800 number.
Is this the first time you called?
Yes, it's the first time I called.
What did you tell them?
I told him that it was a burning, and my eyes was kind of burning, my throat was burning.
The new plant makes Jeep Grand Cherokees and employs thousands of people. It's such a key part of economic development for the city. Mayor Duggan gave his State of the City address this year from inside the plant.
When this plant is going, 250,000 vehicles a year built right here in the east side of Detroit. And for that, we are enormously grateful.
But now when Jeep Grand Cherokees get painted, fumes flow into this neighborhood. Eagle checked out the fume levels 3 times and found that the paint and solvent odors to be, quote, unreasonable interference with the comfortable enjoyment of life and property. But as of today, the fumes keep flowing.
I think they really need to do something about it.
Back here live, a Stellantis statement to Local 4 reads, "We take all environmental issues seriously. We understand our responsibility to be a good neighbor. We are working with Eagle to identify and resolve any concerns in an affirmative manner." They're working on the problem, but people living there say it's been going on. They hope a fix comes very soon.
Well, Sean, Stellantis has been cited by the state. So what happens now?
So we dug into that and what the fine print actually says. They need to start correcting the problem, Eagle says, of Stellantis, and submit a detailed report on what they're doing to fix the problem. The report is due October 11th, so something to keep a close eye on.
We will. All right, Sean. Let's move now to the weather. Gray, gray, gray. As it has been pretty much all week.
Now we're about to get some rain to go along with it, too. Andrew, so what's the timeline looking like here?
Well, Kimberly and David, last week we had sunshine, blue skies, and yes, we now have gray skies. And so far, the rain is arriving right on time when we talked about it. We're looking at light to moderate showers now filtering into the area. You can see nothing too heavy. The areas of green that you see here, especially the dark areas of green, that's where raindrops are actually hitting the ground. In the lighter areas of green, that's where you have a mist or some drizzle that's hanging in the air right here in Detroit throughout much of Wayne County. More shower and thunderstorm activity down to our south and west, but anything that flows basically from our south, rotating around an area of low pressure is what's going to affect us as we go through the rest of the evening. You can see more scattered shower activity down toward Columbus and over Lake Erie. It will travel over us as we head towards sunset and slightly afterward. So we can count on these gray skies still being around, some liquid sunshine, as I like to call it, still falling. We're looking at 71 degrees, so it is mild out there despite the rain that we're seeing right now and the cloud cover that we're seeing as well. Not only here in the Motor City, but it's 74 at City Airport, while it's 72 in Mount Clemens. And temperatures fall into the upper 60s and mid 60s by later on tonight. But I do have some good news in your weekend forecast. Some sunshine may return. We'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Okay, Andrew, 18 former NBA players have been charged in a scheme targeting the league's health and welfare benefit plan.
Prosecutors say the players were filing false claims for medical and dental services that they had not received in order to get payments. From 2017 to 2020, the plan received false claims totaling $3.9 million, with the defendants receiving close to $2.5 million in payouts. Former Piston Will Bynum, former MSU Spartans Shannon Brown, and Alan Anderson are among those facing charges.
The plan reimburses medical expenses, but it does not permit players to be reimbursed for services they never received. The defendants charged today defrauded the plan when they falsely made claims for reimbursement of medical and dental services that they had not received.
16 of the 18 players have turned themselves in to federal authorities. Today, the Michigan Supreme Court heard arguments as they review the case of Ted Wafer.
You'll recall Wafer shot and killed Renisha McBride as she banged on his door back in 2013. His attorneys are working to have one of the charges of which he was convicted thrown out. Jason Colthorpe live in the newsroom. He is, though, Jason, serving 17 years in prison.
A sentence, Devin, that could be reduced if the Michigan Supreme Court finds in his favor here.
When Ted Wafer was convicted of both second-degree murder and statutory manslaughter, he shouldn't have been considered together to sentence him.
I think what we as attorneys sometimes struggle to do is we know something's unfair, and we struggle to find the right constitutional framework for it. I don't think there's any practical difference to whether we call it due process or double jeopardy.
The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office argued the charges are distinct and fully reflect what Wafer did that night.
Mr. Wafer initially told police twice that he did not know the gun was loaded and that it went off or just did so accidentally. Due to this evidence, the people charged Mr. Wafer with the crimes of second-degree murder and statutory manslaughter. It's undisputed that these crimes are composed of distinct legal elements. And thus, under People v. Ream, these are separate crimes, and it's presumed that Mr. Wafer may be properly charged, convicted, and punished for both. Accordingly, Mr. Wafer's dual convictions do not offend double jeopardy or due process principles, and the application cannot be granted.
That proceeding, by the way, lasted about 25 minutes. The Supreme Court's decision we expect to come down sometime next month.
Yeah.
Deb?
All right, Jason, we'll see you at 5:30.
Much more to come here at 5. Here's Hank Winchester.
Tara Grant's children today, all grown up, their first interview.
Do you have any desire at all to talk to Stephen?
For a long time, I felt like I needed to speak to him to have closure, but I think that I created closure for myself.
Coming up in a Local 4 exclusive, their important message for all of you.
And it's just a tree in the middle of a tiny town up in the UP. New tonight, why this evergreen is about to get a whole lot of attention. Tim.
It was breaking news last night at 11 on the night cam. Well, today we got our hands on several clips of surveillance tape showing you how this all went down. A carjacking from Wayne State ended up in Redford. Was what was on board that Penske van that made this a high-tech takedown. We'll have it all coming up next.